Hello, dear brothers and sisters in the world. Here is Mono from the Netherlands again, together with Sam from Australia with his flat squared Enoch 1 Earth. And we go again with the last picture we did left with. And Sam, come in. Thank you for being here again. And let's start again, mate.
All right. Well, g'day to you, Mono, and g'day to everybody that hits the play button. It's a pleasure to be here. And again, grateful to Mono for all his efforts, and grateful to all of the people in the research group that are taking the time to listen and try their best to understand. It's great to be here. Thanks, Mono.
Yeah, you're welcome, of course. Okay, Sam, we just start with the last picture we left with, the latest in part 6. And this is about the moons and about the jump in the gates and that kind of things. So
Yep.
you go on. Maybe I need to say description of the moons. Enoch 1, 72 verse 5. Moons always appears in the same gate as the sun, dependent and sun gate, and you give what some paintings here how it jumps.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say the first 14 days the moon receives energy from the sun, and the second 14 days gives energy to the sun star firmament. And it is chapter 77, 15, 16, 17, 18, North Summer, and chapter 73, parts 7, 8, and 9, chapter 73, verse 5 and 6, and chapter 72, verse 5. Yeah, in the book of Enoch. That is, of course, the Ethiopian book of Enoch 1.
Can you just enlarge that box section I put there on that little drawing? Just
Yeah.
enlarge that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? Linear year?
Yeah, it's a lunar year. It is first half
Yeah.
3 times 29, 3 times 30, and the solar year is 4 times 30, 2 times 31, and then in the second half it is 3 times 29, 3 times 30. For the lunar it will be the same, and for the solar year it will be 4 times 30 and 2 times 31. It will be the same as, of course, for the second.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So it is 4 times
That's
30, 2 times 31, and that is 30, 30, 31, 30, 30, 31.
yeah. Like a well-oiled clock.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, this is a meme that again originally I was compelled to download and print off the whole book of Enoch. It's about 1883, the year version, after printing. As close as we could get to the printing date as we possibly could was what we found as the most safest way that we could get as clear English translation as we could. So I did all of this. I printed it off, and over time, I was shown to read carefully and write down the winds, but also after seeing the moon, jump 30 degrees from one day to the next, I was also compelled to find its movements, and its movements are in chapter 73, and they do correlate and correspond to what our visual eyes see here today in the year 2018. Now, that's just an impeccable, incredible, amazing, enormously fantastic thing that we can prove the Book of Enoch physically from our natural realm from 6,000 years ago. This is an incredible thing. It's just past incredible. So as Mono was good enough to read there, this can all be found in Enoch chapter 73. Well, 71 to 79 is where you'll find most things, but the moon's movements are in 73. Now, as you look at that just go to the bottom one, will you please, Mono?
Yeah,
that one. It works. The moons, I believe, well, the increments that it jumps by are like a sliding rule, like a builder's sliding rule, and where it's actually now that's the south summer.
Yeah, this
Is it? No, it's not. No,
it's
that's
the north
that's
summer.
the north summer.
Yeah,
because gate 1 is where the sun is now for my summer. So that's the north summer. What you'll find is the moon will always come out of the same track as the sun. Every single cycle, it'll come out of the exact same track as the sun for 7 days. And this is all in Enoch. It will stay in that same track for 7 days, and then on the 7th pass, it'll be in that track as the sun, but on the 8th pass, it'll come up in one of the main gates. In this case, it'll be 4, because that is the main gate for the north summer. It's a balance gate. So then on the 8th pass, the moon will come up in 4, and it'll stay in 4 for 7 days. It's funny how it's like the Sabbath, and it will. I've got a real sore muscle in my back, people. It will come up in there for 7 days, in 4, with the balance gate. Then after 7 days, which will be day 15, it will come up way out in 1. It'll jump from 1 day, on day 7 in 4, and then on day 8 of that bracket, which will be day 15, because it goes 7, then 8 it jumps. Then it goes another 7, which will be 15 it jumps. And it'll come up in 1. From 1 day being in 4, the next day it comes up 30 degrees, and it'll come up in 1. Now, all of this, and you can prove it, just get a compass, have a position, and record the moon as low to the horizon as you can. It doesn't matter if it's at the top of mountains, if it's the same. That's all that matters. Yeah. And if you've got a compass, you don't have to keep the same position. Yeah. But if you have no compass, then pick one particular spot where you can stand every day that you want to view it at that position, and you'll see it jump, people. And it totally and utterly, there is no coming back from this. This is Ezekiel's wheels within wheels before your very eyes. And it's been hidden in front of us the whole time. And sometimes in a 31-day solar month, the moon will stay in that third bracket, which goes from 14 to 21. To 21. And on 25, it'll move. But now let's just go to that third bracket. On the months that there are 31 days solar, what there is 29 days lunar. And that is that in that third bracket, the moon will stay in that track for 8 days. But every other month, the 2 preceding months and the 2 months after that 31 day, that 29 day, it will only be 7 days in that third bracket. But on the 31-day solar, 29-day lunar, the day that it picks up is in that third bracket, and it'll be an 8-day window. Then on the 9th day is when it jumps. And then it'll jump back to the balance gate. It'll jump back to 4, and it'll sit there for 7 days, and you won't see it move, but it'll sit there for 7 days, and then when it disappears for its 2 days of conjunction, it will jump back to the sun's track, only for the new moon to come out of the sun's track again. And this is how it works. And this is all in Enoch. And read it carefully. Take this drawing. I implore anybody, encourage anybody, please take these drawings, take these memes and study them. And study the book of Enoch at the same time. Please, if you can improve these, please do. But don't destroy them. Don't be half-assed. Don't be silly. Watch your natural realm like I have, and then look at the book. And, if you can help and improve, please do. If you don't, then all you're going to do is increase your knowledge and understanding of your natural world and where we really, truly live. So This is a description of the action, the jumping action. I say jump. Is there a better word? Not really. I can't think of one. It's like a gearbox. The moon's changed gears, and it's a 6-speed gearbox.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And
and
in the south summer, it is not from 4 to 1, but from 3 to 6, three to
that's
four,
right.
and 4 to 6, and then back to 3.
Well, 3 is my balance gate. See,
Yeah,
3 is the balance gate for the south summer.
yeah,
4 is the balance gate for the. That's why Enoch called them the main gates. He was
yeah,
very careful. He made sure that we all knew that the main gates are 3 and 4.
yeah.
But he even went one step further, and he said the main gate is 4, because April, the new moon of April, is when the sun jumps to 4, and that is the first day of mankind's solar year. When the new moon of April, the sun coming out of conjunction, and the firmament and the tracks upstairs, up above us, the sun's windows are moved to 4. And then the new moon signals the start of mankind's solar year.
Okay.
That's possums running around the fence,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
chasing each other.
Yeah, yeah. They were first. We were later, so to say.
That's right, mate.
Yeah,
Oh, I feed them all the time.
yeah,
They're hungry. They're hungry too, and I
yeah.
often every night I try and feed them, and I've got quite a few of them that come in, and they'll let me pat them, But anyway, um, so that's that one. It's an important meme for anyone to understand. You've only got to take that meme and read chapter 73 very slowly, because sometimes it's only 3 words that have a bloody big meaning.
Yeah.
Amazing book. Really, truly amazing book. And I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Don't be stupid. But you've got so many of these flat Earth researchers that are proposing all of these amazing observations, but not one of them can see this. And yet this is like having a stereo, like a disco turned up in your bathroom. It's that loud and that obvious, and yet none of these guys that are out front getting paid all these big dollars, none of them are seeing this, and yet anyone can see it. You've only got to watch it for 28 days, and it'll start screaming at you. Look at me, I'm moving. It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
Well, even you, Mono, through just your observations of the sky with your chemtrails and so forth.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Only,
yeah.
you've got
Yeah.
eyes to see, you will.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like you say before. We didn't think about that because I was thinking this. It goes around, but it is go inside more than another days or other time, so to say. Yeah, because it is not
Yeah.
every time the same thing, of course. You
No.
know.
Well, see, this again lets us know just how important Enoch is. One Enoch. Why is there so many people that have been employed to confuse Enoch? Because Enoch has our absolute true cosmology in it.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Enoch, if I wasn't able to get my eyeballs on Enoch and then see what I've seen and put it together, what would have happened? We would never have known. We would never, ever, ever, ever have ever seen this and known what we were looking at if it wasn't for Enoch. That is how important Enoch is. It's not a toy book. It's physically evidenced. It's not a toy. This book is seriously probably the most important book on earth right now.
Yeah,
And
yeah. The
that is
Ethiopian.
evidenced, Ethiopian version that was hidden in the Ethiopian Bible. None of this other stuff. They've put out probably 2-3 different books all to confuse it, and they've put out probably about 5 different versions or translations of the original Ethiopian Enoch translation. So that's how important this is. I personally think that Ethiopia was taken to bits because of them having that book hidden in their Bible. Ethiopia some 20, 25 years ago was absolutely obliterated and destroyed. And their people, you heard it in the news all the time, their people was a famine, and people were dying and by the thousands and thousands, starving and no water. They were taken apart. And I believe it was a narcissistic rage. I think that the occult controllers of this thing were so pissed off that Ethiopia was number one on their hit list. And this is it. This is why I cannot stress enough just how important it is, Enoch 1, because it's not just what he's showing us here with the true cosmology. He's showing us the square earth. He's explaining our history. Where else are you going to get our history? Nowhere. No. It's all in there. It really is all in there. In 1 Enoch, the Ethiopian Bible version. And we've got a copy that we use, that we searched hard for. Matthew Beringa came up with it eventually, and it's 1883. And it's even missing 3 chapters that they couldn't or didn't have time to convert it, corrupt it, write all over it. They just took 3 chapters out of it. And Matthew found them. He found the 3 chapters. And this is the version that we use. We don't use any other version. And it amazes me.
And who did translate it? Do you know that?
What's that? Sorry, mate.
Who did
R.H. Charles. R.H. Charles.
Okay.
R.H. Charles. And he's got an earlier version where he shows how he translated from G's, I think. G-E backwards E-Z, which was the original language of Enoch.
Okay, so this is the name. R.H. Charles.
That's him.
Yeah? Okay.
R.H. Charles.
Okay.
Yep.
Just for the people.
Ethiopian Enoch translation, 1883. It's the one you want to look for.
Okay.
So, yep, that's that one, I think, mate. I think it's just very important, people. Very important. And, just even today, I was asked or tagged to go into an Ethiopian Enoch Facebook group where they're trying to attach Jesus. The biggest thing that this control system wants to do is attach Jesus to Enoch. Now, you can read through that version. There's nowhere in there that it mentions anyone's by name. It mentions the Son of Man a couple of times, but it does not. And if you read the whole thing, like from the beginning, it talks about the elect one that was hidden. Hidden is a very defined word. It means hidden from the beginning till the end.
Yeah.
Well, we're not at the end yet. I look around. This system's not finished yet.
No.
So we're not at the end yet. So anybody that thinks that the occult haven't put Jesus up as a deflection, well, I'm sorry, you're in a dream. You got to wake up, because there was nowhere that Jesus is mentioned. Nowhere. And it's not Jesus. I don't know. We've got some surprises in front of us still. For me, all I want to do is just keep working as hard as I possibly can every day to try and do what I believe the Most High, host of heaven, is compelling me to do. And I hope that everyone else can switch off the ego and listen to their heart. And, what is the will of the Most High? It is the next appropriate action. the next appropriate action. It's not thinking out 2, 3, 4 hours away. It's not thinking about yesterday. It's about the next, very next moment from now and what its appropriate action is. That's what we're called to be and called to do, in my view. So people, please, don't let them attach Jesus to Enoch. It's really important because, Methuselah, my son, this book is not for you. This is for a generation, a successful generation, afar off. Well, we've physically evidenced this book now. I think that's freaking huge.
Yeah.
And I think we need to be very responsible and understand the weight of our discoveries, and that every movement and action that we make, we need to be standing for the truth. And Enoch's got the vote. All right. That's
Okay.
it. Thanks, Mono. I needed to get that across.
Yeah, and people can do it with a compass, prove it yourself. Just you can watch at the apartment. You can watch at the tree. You don't have to have a compass. You don't only watch at the same thing and look how it jumps, or how it goes, 10 degrees or 20 or 30. And you can see it for yourself. I did see it, and I didn't know that I did see it. I did know that I did see it when I did see and hear from you from the jump in the gates,
Yeah.
and that made the aha moment.
Yeah. Well, I know Adam. Adam, one of my best mates online. He's been here and he stayed with me for a few months, and he was on the Gold Coast, which is an hour and a half from me, and he was up living in an apartment block, and he could see the ocean. And he only just come across me on the internet, and he'd get online and we'd talk, and he'd keep watching that horizon when the moon come up, and then all of a sudden it jumped. And he was so excited. He was just like, "Oh my God, Sam!" And he's done. He was done.
Yeah,
and then from there to here now, he's an Enoch warrior. There's no doubt about it. He's all right.
Yeah. Okay, we go to the sapphire sky, crystal sea, spiral fluid, prism wall, second refraction. And I will read it. Slierend texture of the liquid crystal, pneumatic phase. Liquid crystal, LCs, are matter in a state which has properties between those of conventional liquids and those of solid quartz crystals. For instance, a liquid crystal may flow like a liquid, but its molecules may be oriented in a crystal-like way. There are many different types. Yeah.
Yep. Well, what I say to that, and the first thing I should say is, people, when you're looking at all of these P900, P1000 pictures of the stars, please reevaluate and think what you're seeing. The azimuthal equidistant mob want to tell you it's water. Bull. It's not. What it is you are seeing the stars that are in the star firmament, in the outer star firmament. You're seeing the stars through the liquid crystal sky force field turned off. That's why you get this wavy look. Look at that picture there now. Doesn't that look the same? It's a liquid crystal. And that is what you're seeing the stars through. It's through the force field of the sky turned off. In between the prism and the outer firmament is what they call the Sha'im, which is an open space of an electric fields, of electromagnetic fields that the wanderers are in. And I would say they're in different levels. And this is how they manage to be the selectors of the gearbox, the leaders. So back to this. This is really important, because when light is projected through a Charel fluid or a liquid crystal, your mobile phone is a liquid crystal. Your flat screen TVs are a liquid crystal display. And this is the same technology. It's just a counterfeit of the beautiful sapphire sea. It's a liquid crystal display. And what happens is when light enters that, like you've got your glasses, like my glasses, for collecting just normal magnifying. But when you use Charel fluid, which I've tried and tried to get hold of some, my God, I tried and tried and tried so I could do relative testing. I couldn't. Like fiberglass resin or two-pack paints are another type of Charel fluid. But if you get a refraction because of the crystal makeup of the Charel fluid, the LCD, it refracts light differently than just like my glasses will act like a magnifying glass and just collect it and spear it. Okay, great. But Charel fluid acts differently. It refracts light differently, right? And this is the difference. And this is what I beg anybody, research this. Understand what I'm showing. There's more to come yet. Even collect these memes and read them. There's pretty well enough information in there. But this is our sky. This is our sky, people. And you're watching, when you see them stars, you're watching the stars through the force field sky turned off, the plasma, crystal, liquid crystal sky. And you're seeing the stars through that. That's what's giving you that shimmering effect. I'd love to take that shimmering effect away so I can see, exactly what shape they are. Sometimes I've seen a couple of good films, good P900 shots where it gives it away that they're digital, and they're set in the outer crystal of the star firmament. But that's another story we're going to get to. So yeah, that's what that one is, mate.
Okay, there are many different types of organic molecules, although a few minerals are also known thermotropic LCs. Exhibit a phase transition into the liquid crystal phase as temperature is changed. Lyotropic LC exhibit phase transitions as a function of both temperature and concentration of the liquid crystal molecules in a solvent, typical water. Meta.
And that's where I say about fiberglass and two-pack paints, and these sort of things. And that's what they're based on, is that particular bit of information.
Yeah. Metallotropic LCs are composed of both organic and inorganic molecules. Their liquid crystal transition depends not only on temperature and concentration, but also on the inorganic and organic composition ratio. So more organic, less inorganic, or more inorganic and less organic. Examples of liquid crystals can be found both in nature, in the natural world, and in technical application. And the rest I need to keep for the next part, or do I go to the next part?
Go to the next part,
okay,
mate. Because that's part of the research, and it's pretty, it's good for people.
Yeah.
Well done, Mono. Well done.
Most contemporary electronic displays use of liquid crystal phases, which can be distinguished by their different optical properties, such as birefrings. When viewed on a microscope using a polarized light source, different liquid crystal phases will appear to have distinct textures. The contrasting areas in the texture correspond to domains where the liquid crystal molecules are oriented in a different direction. Within a domain, however, the molecules are well ordered. LC materials may not always be in liquid crystal phase, just as water may turn into ice or steam. Liquid crystals can be divided into thermotropic or lyotropic and metallotropic phases. Thermotropic and lyotropic liquid crystals consist mostly of organic molecules, although a few found both in natural world and technical applications. Most contemporary electronic displays use liquid crystals. Lyotropic liquid crystalline phases are abundant in living systems but can also be found in the mineral world. For example, many proteins and cell membranes are liquid crystals. Other well-known examples of liquid crystals are solutions of soap and various related detergents. Detergents, yes, as well as tobacco mosaic virus and some clays. What's that said about the digital grid in the sky? Sorry for my English people, but you can read it for yourself. That is big enough too. So I am to
It's
here.
good practice for you, mate.
Yeah, yeah. That's truth. That's truth. That's real truth. Let me see.
You do a good job, bud. You do a good job.
The new work demonstrates that the technique will benefit a real telescope, the Chara array of telescope near Los Angeles. Telescopes like Chara are based on interferometry. They built
See how they changed? They changed the name. They changed the name, the cheeky buggers. They changed the name from Char-El to Char.
Chara, yeah.
See? They
Yeah.
changed the name just to hide it.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me see. Telescopes like Chara are based on interferometry. They build up images by mixing the signals coming from each telescope, are giving the same angular resolution as telescopes with the size of an entire array. Applying the conversion scheme to two of Chara's telescopes, Derry and her colleagues collected 1.5 light from a star.
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about that one too much, mate. The main thing is people need to see there is how slimy they are, and they've gone and changed the name just so that they could use it in their technology and get it past us.
Okay. But I will read it anyway. The rest.
Okay, boss.
So that the people can read it for themselves. But light from.
But you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah. Constellations and converted into the red light. They showed that the signals from two telescopes generated interference rings on a detector. That is, the conversion process preserved the light coherence that is necessary for an interferometric array to work. Yeah, okay. But it is about the Charo and the Chara. Yeah? And people can read for it. It is big enough to read for yourself.
Yep.
Then we come to this one, and you want to talk about this, I hope.
Well, you hope. Well, it's basically showing you how that splits light. You know, it's showing you how they've used this LCD technology, liquid crystal display technology, to split light, and they use it in our phones, in our screens, in our TVs, and that's basically what they've done. Sharper vision for infrared telescopes. Converting infrared light to a visible light might boost the sensitivity of the infrared telescope arrays. But, you know, because of the previous research I'd done, all of a sudden, as soon as I looked at that, I went, oh, look at that. There you go. They've split. That's how there's the one. It's almost like laser being split into two. But this is what liquid crystal does. Proper Char-El fluid liquid crystal, not just any run-of-the-mill everyday fluid. No. It's a special. It's special because it's got this refractive property about it. As it said earlier, you can increase your inorganic or increase your organic materials within it to chop and change the effects of the fluid itself. So, you know, this is just another one of showing you that, you know, everything's a counterfeit on Earth. You know, if you want to find answers to any observation that you find, then just look around. It'll be around you somewhere. It'll be right close to you somewhere. You know, I've got magnets here. I mean, there's your eclipses, as I've said before. There's your eclipses. It's not that complicated. There's your eclipse. You know? So they're always there. It's my point in that meme.
Yeah. Yeah, it is just looking at nature, and you can make a copy of nature.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. From all of this wonderful technology that we have, and yet really it's not that special. I mean, the original is what's special,
yeah,
what we live
yeah.
in.
I always say there is nothing new, always already here. Yeah, because if it
Yep.
wasn't here, you cannot make it. You
No.
know, you only need to find how to make it, but it is already here. Like sand, we need sand for make glass, so to say, and it is
Yep.
already here. You only have to change the state of the sand, so to say.
Yep.
Yeah, make
Well,
it
I
all.
know. I
Yeah,
I worked a few years back in Western Australia in Kalgoorlie, which is huge gold, zinc, copper, but gold. I worked in some assay laboratories where we used to look at this little bugger. I where I had look at this. Can you see him?
yeah, yeah,
That's one of my little boys.
yeah.
He's a real boy. He's a pain in the bum. Anyway, and
Cool.
we used to assay all the core samples that the drilling rigs would bring in, and we would heat the samples up, the dirt, just standard everyday dirt, and we would heat it up until it melted into glass.
Yeah, yeah.
Dirt melts into glass. As simple as that. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Let me see. Then we have this one again.
Mm. Well, as I said to Mono, you've got your angle of the prism down there. You've got your double polarization. You've got ultraviolet / white light outside the prism that's coming into our realm through the circle of the Earth, Hebrew windows, windows, and you've got your first polarization, which gives us our reality, and then you've got your second polarization, which is the rainbow, which is evidence of the convex surface to the top of the prism. But it's also an evidence of Charel fluid because it's flipping. See how the light, the trick of light, and it flips and fans the sun
Yeah.
as it comes in
So for
and
me, we
travels
need
east
to
to
see
west.
it this way.
Basically, yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah. There we go. Yeah,
There you go. But just put that prism above and so below, like the diamond of Enoch or Enoch 1 flat Earth, square Earth, and voila, there you go.
yeah. Okay. Let me see. This is about the left and right spirals.
You don't want to read that, do you?
No.
No, don't do that, mate. But what it's saying there, people, is you can get shells that grow below the south of the equator will spin the same way as a cyclone, and you can get shells north of the equator that will spin the same way as hurricanes because of the sun. The sun's energy as it travels across from east to west, either side of the equator, doing this, and that's your Merkaba. That's your Merkaba energy, and it's all holographic. It's a wave, and it's spinning like this as each and everyone sees it. And this is what's causing the water either side of the equator in our sinks and baths goes down differently. I've seen it so many times online. There's no more. Go away. There's no more. I've seen it so much. I used to post online anything about this water going opposite directions. Oh my God, they'd come out of the woodwork. All of the azimuthal equidistant paid controllers would come out of the woodwork. Don't be stupid, rah, 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 and they'd come down on you like poof, like a ton of bricks. And in the end, you go, oh shit, I better not talk about that again.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's bloody true. you know,
if you think that I better cannot talk about it anymore, then you need to talk about it. But I have one question. So what you're saying is, for you in your in Australia, they will be say left turned the shells, and if I look at the shells, they are will be right turned.
yep,
Yeah. So here is the
yep,
opening here, but
yep,
on my side it will be on this side.
yep.
Okay. Okay.
And you know, again, I'm a big what I don't like believer because that bloody word lies in the middle of it. I have a lot of faith in my research all the way through, but I've always had this really strong compelling towards the American Indians, and I've always known that rain dance has some serious power, and this is part of the power that they don't want us to know. But so my cyclones down here go clockwise, so hurricanes must go anti-clockwise. So the American Indians would do their rain dance, and they would dance anti-clockwise, if that's correct, but you'll know what I mean. They would dance the same direction as their Merkaba, and then they had certain acoustic drums that were set at a certain, acoustics, and it would bloody rain. So, and this is the power that we have in here.
Yeah,
Um,
there is a guy, and that is he is taken down, so to say. But he did make copper pipes into metal and organic and inorganic material, and he make it rain too. I don't know
yep,
Schalberg or something. I don't know his name anymore. But I
yep,
did see that he make some copper pipes, just like the chemtrail busters. People do that too,
yep,
with
yes,
yeah, and that will
yes,
be the same thing, I think.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. This is one of my drives at the moment. Doing this series of videos with you is just beautiful. I love it, because it's so good for people to just hear our stuff.
Yeah.
But the extension of all of this, and it's in Enoch, those that know how to listen to their horns, raise your head to hear the Most High if you can. It's not exact word for word, but that's what he's telling us. He's telling us to listen, be still, listen to the wind, listen to the Most High. And what we have in here is a lot more power than we realize. Sorry, people, I don't believe it. This is a good thing. This is like the swastika. It's not bad. This is good. This is a good thing, not a bad thing, because this is your pineal, your horns, and this is what we're supposed to listen with. So, it's really important to do this. It really is to know our power in here. That's the extension of Enoch. That's what's hidden in Enoch.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
I did make it bigger. People can read it for themselves. I think it is good to read, so I will have it to here and then
Yep.
to here, so they can read it for themselves. And I will
Good
go
man.
on to the next one. Okay, Tesla knew the moon's big secret. The great triumphs of man were those in which his mind had to free itself from the influence of delusive appearances. An unalterable rotational velocity through all phases of planetary evolution is manifestly impossible. The truth is, the so-called axial rotation of the moon is a phenomenon deceptive alike to the eye of the mind and devoid the physical meaning. The moon does rotate. No, not on its own, but about it on an axis passing through the center of the earth, and the true and only one. Nikola Tesla, 84's.
These are beautiful stuff, So many people revere this man, and a lot of people want to destroy him. My own personal view is, yes, he came from a hot spot of the world where he was one of the family. George Orwell and many others all came from there. Einstein. They all came from what was Yugoslavia. And so he was part of the family, but I'm of the total faith again that he didn't agree. He didn't agree. His conscience would not allow him to toe the line, and I think his mind and even in his words, he's very clever with how he words that. Not can you just enlarge that for me, please, Mono? An
An
unalterable
unalterable rotation velocity through all phases of
through all the phases
planetary
of the planetary evolution
yeah,
and is manifestly impossible. Hello, he's telling us. He's telling us right there that, guys, the heliocentric model is a joke. That's what he's telling us. The truth is, the so-called actual rotation of the moon is a phenomenon deceptive alike to the eye and the mind and devoid of physical meaning. Well, what we're researching right now is the simple fact that with multiple moon magnets revolving around us outside, how is it that there's the one face? And I've got a feeling he's answering us right there, because he's telling us, you've got to take your blinkers off. You've got to open your mind. You cannot think with the indoctrination that they've given us. Single orbs, no holographics, no waves. He's trying to tell us that we've got to think completely out of the box and more, listen to the horns, listen to the Most High, talk to the Most High, ask, show me how it works. And this is what he's saying there. And it's really important that we read these brilliant minds. I don't believe he was part of the family. He didn't want anything to do with it. That's why they didn't kill him outright. That's why they done it slowly. That's why they starved him out and destroyed him slowly. Otherwise, if it was one of us, they'd probably just knocked us off. So, yeah, it's important meme, that. Very important meme.
Yeah, and it is so that the worst thing he could do was going to America in this. It is a bit of double, because if he didn't go, he will not invent things. But if
Yep.
because he did go, they did take him down. And I think
Yep.
they also waited to take him down, so they just dropped him out of the circuit. Yeah, so that he was
Yep.
not in the face of the people, so to say, but they
Yep.
needed to wait for all his inventions. Yeah, because he did
Exactly.
invent, and then after he died, they did take all.
They knew he was the one that had the mind to do it.
Yeah, yeah. So they
And he did.
needed to let him live until
Mm.
the end, because he was in the 90, I think, 89 or something, or 92 or 91.
Well, I
Around
agree
there.
with you,
Yeah,
Mono.
yeah, yeah.
I agree with you, my mate.
Otherwise, if he was a big problem, they would kill him already, or
Yep.
take him down in
Absolutely.
another way. Yeah, a heart
Yep.
attack or
Exactly. Oh.
self-hanging, that kind of things. Yeah,
Any way they like. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Okay, then we
Yep.
come to this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is Tesla's greatest secret of all. That is Nikolai Tesla's greatest secret of all time. That is, all over the internet now, they're crawling around like grubs. 369, 369. I know what this is it. There is your 369. It's twin opposing vortexes. 369. And we go on in a minute and we'll show you with the mathematics. This is your 369. It's as each one of those infinity symbols, infinity, sun, 369, it's all there. Is traveling east to west in a wave, 369. And either side of the equator is your 369, reoccurring. Infinity, the sun's infinity. And this is exactly what that is. And it's hidden within the swastika. Yeah. So that is Tesla's biggest secret of all. As he said, I think it was something like anyone that anyone that if you unlock the secret of 369, you unlock the secret to the universe.
Yeah.
Well, there you are. It's the suns. And then in some of the hidden writings of Yehoshua, the mystical school teacher, he says, keep the mystery of the sons of my house. Well, there you are again. So this is really powerful. This is the true meaning of 369 that Tesla. Can I just add too, people, it's the funniest little anomaly. I actually have the same birthday as Nikolai Tesla, 10th of July.
Okay.
Incredible stuff.
Okay.
But that is it.
I live on the 10th of July. I live on 107.
You what?
My number of my house is 107. 10-7.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, bugging me.
Yeah. And my friend of me, a girlfriend, is also on the same date.
Really?
Yeah.
I love these. You know, it's amazing, like how they love using gematria. But for me, I don't pull anything down with gematria. But during my day, excuse me, the amount of synchronistic numbers that pass me and the things that happen is just crazy. I'm always looking at 222 or 333 or 444 or 555 or 111. Oh my God! And I love it. I love it because I believe a faith that whenever I see these numbers continuously, I know I'm on track. I'm on the Tao. I'm on the way. I'm on the path. And I think it's really important. For me, it is. Mono, what about you?
The only thing I did see 2 years after each other, only 4-4, so 44.
Mm-hmm.
And the latest years it was 33. 33. Yeah, I did hang it immediately. It is okay.
Did you?
Yeah. But I'm a little.
It was probably only the bank anyway, mate.
No, I have no bank. I have nothing on the bank, so nobody calls me for that. All is paid, and I have no money on the bank because we will be taken down. I'm in the low level part, so I will be going the first, but I will not go without taking one with me. I did this. Yeah.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah.
Good on you. So anyway, there you go, guys. That's 369. It's the infinity symbol. It's a swastika. It's Tesla's greatest secret of all.
Do you know that the swastika is also 4 fours? So the 4 forces. Because I will show you. Let me do that this way.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So this is a part of the swastika. So like this. So yeah, this is a part, but this is already 1-4. And if you take it around, you can
another one.
You can 4-4-4-4-4. You know, because
4 fours.
Yeah. So it is 4 fours too. 4 forces.
Which is 88.
The force of nature. So they call it.
And so 4 and 4 is 8, and 4 and 4 is 8.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
So it's still got the same symbol, isn't it? It's still got the 88.
Yeah, 2 4. So this is a 4, and this is a 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and if I go here, it's a 4, and if I go here to here, so halfway, so to the cross point, it will be also a 4. You see?
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
8, 8, 8, 8. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So, that's good. I like it.
The force of nature, they call it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it, Mono. Love it. Fits, but I mean, whenever something's synchronistic, you've got to love it, don't you? Whenever it fits. You can't, it can't be denied. You just kind of go, that works.
Yeah. And if you go from here, so to here to the top here, and you go to the cross point here, then you have the 4. You see?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
I know it. Oh, yeah. I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Because, again, like I said, 44 is 88.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Yes, 44. Yeah. Let me see. We go to the next one. And it was this slide. It was the twin opposing vortex where you talk about. And go ahead, because this is, of course, the Freemason
Oh, it's
also
everything.
a little.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Everything is in that.
Yeah.
Everything is in that. That is your 369 twin opposing vortexes. As you can see, on both sides there, it's this again between 1, 2, and 4, and 8, 7, and 5, and it's your twin opposing vortexes. It never stops. It's an absolute never-ending number system, and that is the infinity symbol. That is you either side of equity. Your figure of 8. Your infinity, your suns, your fans, your wings, your Egyptian wings, your angels' wings. It's and that's Tesla's. I love how down the bottom of the prism, like you've got your pyramid there, you've got your two suns. Your mathematics are your two suns, or one sun, but either side of equity. But you've also got 3 and 6 at the bottom, which in gematria, obviously, people, gematria, they love 3 and 6. They love it, but they won't touch 9. They will not touch 9. Why? Because the 9 is the creator's number. It's complete. You can't go any further than 9. You go to 0 and you start again. You go to 10, but you go to 0 and you start again. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing that our home is in there. The suns are in there. It's basically the matrix, all in the simplest of mathematical reoccurring equations. It just never stops. That is your true 369, right there in front of your face. They don't want you to know it because it's the suns. And from there, you start to grow and you start to know more. You start to uncover Enoch 1 and the waves of the sun. It's all there. It's all there. And that guy, I don't know his video offhand. I've probably got it on my site somewhere. But that guy, that work he does there, of pulling it down and showing you, it's just beautiful. It really is. As soon as I seen it, I went, oh, my God, look at this. That's just crazy how, to me, it just jumped off out of the video, and, yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, I know this video too, I think. It's all an older video, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Not from this year, let us say it this way. I seen it
No,
before.
it's not from this year.
No. Okay.
And yep.
Then we go to Ishtar, Isis, and Israel, the home. What's under the center? It's a little other subject, but
it's it shows you the depth of their lies, is what it does. In Enoch, he describes Noah as panicking. He's panicking. He's worried. And he's yelling at his father, and God knows how he got to the edge so quick, to the south door, because one minute he's yelling and screaming what's going on. The earth is inclining, and he's yelling and screaming. And by the way, people, this is completely different to the Bible's recollection. You got to think about that. They build Noah up as some sort of hero. Well, so he runs to the edge. Father, 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 what's going on? What's going on? The earth's inclining. So he was panicking. He knew nothing about any sort of water event at all. And when you start getting down to these sort of factors, and it's all hidden in Enoch again, Ishtar, Isis, Israel, they're all just the same name for components of our flat, square, fact Earth. And the light that is our suns comes in through the Hebrew window. As I just seen this, and I couldn't say no to it, because it was just beautiful. At the top there, you've got your star firmament. You've got your cap-off pyramid, no different than the Mexican pyramid of the sun. Then up the side there, you've got the steps of Ahaz, which is in the Bible. And, it's in the account of stopping the sun and the moon for a day while the Israel, slaughtered their enemies. Wow. Nice, you know. As I've said to people before and said on here, why would the Most High destroy his own creation? You know, an artist doesn't destroy his own work, especially when it's good and it's said to be good. You don't destroy it. So, you know, the whole story, everything that you've ever been told, you know, they said that they would make reality fantasy and fantasy reality. And that's exactly what they did. Well, and you know, I heard that rabbi once, Finkelstein, being interviewed, and he said to the radio DJ, you know, the radio DJ said, you know, he said some ugly words like, "You Jews, you lie about everything. You lied about just about everything." And then sort of Finkelstein turns around and laughs, and he said, "We lied about everything," is what he said, quote unquote. Yeah. Well, they have. They have. Well, what does everything mean? They've lied about the land continent sizes and shapes, positions. They've lied about hiding continents. There's two been hidden. They've lied about our history completely and utterly. They've lied about everything. And so Ishtar, Isis, Israel is the name of the sun being projected in here. Yeah. Because Israel is fake. It's as fake as the day is long. The Rothschilds set it up just for a doorway, for an avenue into Babylon. They needed to get to the plains of Shinar. And I would say that probably the Dead Sea's got something to do with it, because, you know, there's many facts and figures, and I implore anybody to research the Dead Sea. You know, we live on a diamond as such, square, as above, so below. Under here is the perpetual engine, the frozen deep, which is a very high salt content. And it kicks the magnetics of the moons and kicks them into a perpetual engine. So I've forgotten where I was going to go with that. Dead Sea. And that is like, and the Dead Sea, I think, is high 20%, if not low 30% salt. Yet, when you get down and dirty and look at the research, the Dead Sea has no source. It has no river running into it. So where does its water come from? Just rain? Well, that's a new one on me, because it's bloody in a desert. And it's something like, off memory, and it's very scratchy, but it's like about 600 or 800 feet below sea level of the Sea of Galilee, which is only a few kilometres away, you know, 20, 30 kilometres away. And I knew all of the names of the river not that far away that flows past Mount Hermon. It doesn't supply it either. And then I've got good Muslim friends that will have told me that when any proper true Muslim, they're told they're not allowed to go near the Dead Sea. They're not allowed to, and if they absolutely have to go near the Dead Sea, they are to turn their eyes away from it. Now, our eyes are magnetic receivers. What we see with our eyes is, they're just magnetic receivers, our eyes. And so then the Muslims are told they are to walk and never face the Dead Sea with their eyes because of the negative energy coming from it. And so then I asked, well, okay, what's the story that you guys have got? And I've been told that it was during the angel wars that one of the angels scooped that bloody great big chunk of earth, which you would call probably one of the titans, scooped that piece of earth out and flipped it over backwards, upside down, which gives a much more acceptable explanation than anything else that's going around it. That's for sure. In the last 20 years, I think, and I ask people, you go and do the research. Just take me as a lead. I've got so many things that I'm thinking about on research now that my past research gets scratchy. But I think it's around the western edge in the last 20 years, there's a whole heap of sinkholes appearing. And the water of the Dead Sea is draining into them. So, the Dead Sea has got there's a lot more going on there than what we're being told. A lot more going on there than what we're being told. And so this is all under that part of the earth where, that center part where you've got your Middle East and then out through the west, that Ishtar, where they're the tower. Ishtar is the tower, the sun's tower, the Tower of Babel. This is why we're getting eclipses, because they're attacking the tower, the laser that comes in that is the sun. And I mean, we've got the proof because of solar eclipses and blah, 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 like I've been through before. And they're doing it here. They're attacking the tower. This is why they had to get into Iraq, why they had to get into the plains of Shinar. But I wanted to add that about the Dead Sea because not enough people actually research it and understand that there's a lot more going on in this magical realm. This is a very magical realm. And most everything has been covered in about 10 layers of lies to stop us looking. And I'm trying to encourage people, please, look, think. No, don't think with your indoctrinated mind. Think with your heart. Think with your mind. And you will find the truth. And use Enoch 1 as something to hang on to. Hang on to Enoch 1. Remember, we've physically evidenced it. Chapter 73. Watch the moons. That's a physical evidence book. And this is all part of it. Again, the Muslim faith in the Quran, they hold Enoch up higher than, they don't call his name's not Jesus in their book. And they hold, I think in the Quran they don't even hold Jesus up as a prophet. I think they might be lucky. I think he might be a prophet, but he's definitely not the Son of Man. No. But they hold Enoch up with great revere. They revere Enoch greatly. And in their book, Enoch took on the angels. He took them on, and he won. And how many people get to realize this? Because they're too busy with their ignorance and their arrogance and won't talk. Some of my best friends online are Muslim, and they are beautiful. So all the books have got truth, and we've got to put our ignorance and our arrogance in our pocket. And Enoch is the gatherer. He's the gatherer. And I mean, when I first found out that Enoch took on the angels and beat them, I thought, wow, how? How did he do that? In the angel wars. And see, again, that's all tucked away nicely in the Quran. And so long as they keep the Christians and the Buddhists and the Muslims and the Krishnas and keep them all fighting so they don't talk, then nobody's going to get the whole truth. Well, for me, what I did was I buried all of that and I thought, right, I'm going to talk to every bastard. I want to talk to everyone. I want to, and it's the only way. It really is the only way.
Yeah, but the point is that all the people you talk about, Christian, Muslims, Buddhists, Buddhists, I don't know, but for real, the Christians and the Muslims, most people didn't even read the Quran or the Bible. And I have another question, because wait a moment, because you say about yes, no, but because you say about the salt in and you say that they don't look at it, but there is being told that I have a skin problem, of course, and that people with eczema and that kind of things need to go into the sea there. So the Muslims did say that they cannot look at it, so they may not look at it. But people with the skin problem need to go to the Dead Sea, so to say,
Well,
for
I mean,
the healing
they're just word.
properties.
That's just words, though. I mean, at the end of the day, you could probably get, like you have actually, because you were saying it, I think, in our last talk, that Himalayan rock salt
Yeah,
um, is. I mean, you can't be shy with this stuff. I mean, I know myself. I like to get at least like a tablespoon of that stuff in a teaspoon, if not more, of good Himalayan rock salt into me every day,
yeah,
because it's a must for us, because we are an electric bloody body. We need that salt to conduct the electricity
yeah,
properly.
yeah.
Um, but as far as the Dead Sea for eczema and so forth, Mono, I can't comment, mate, really, other than to say, that's words.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I never seen somebody go to it or lay in it that I know of. Let I say it that way. Yeah, so it is
yeah,
just from saying. For me, same. It is just from saying because you
yeah,
cannot
mate.
lay in the Dead Sea because you will not sink in it.
Sink.
No.
You won't sink. You
You want to.
won't.
Yeah, what you say, I do. I have a small bed and I put salt in it and apple vinegar and that kind of things to lay in. And sometimes, if I come out, it helps. But I maybe you need to do it every week or that kind of thing. I don't do that, but
Yeah.
it do help, but not for a long time. So let us say it
But
that way.
see, the percentage of salt needed too in a bath would be, to get it up to high 20s%.
Yeah.
The amount of salt that you would have to put in a bath and get it to dissolve
Yeah.
is quite a lot
Yeah, 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 yeah. It will be
to
about
get it to the
20 kilos or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what the Dead Sea is. So
yeah,
if you could replicate what the Dead Sea is in your bath,
yeah,
then you'd probably find that the healing properties are there.
yeah. Yeah, they are there. I feel myself better. My skin is some better. But yeah, you cannot go every day because then I need a lot salt.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
couldn't
And,
you couldn't afford it.
no, and that's how they do it. You cannot. They take so much money. You get 1,000, and they take 900, and you left 100, and you cannot afford it. So
Exactly.
that's how they do it, of course, and that's at everything. Because if we have
Exactly.
all enough money, we could buy good vegetables, that kind of things. But now
Uh-huh.
we go out and buy all packed and in packets with ink in it and that kind of things. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it is. If you see it, then finally you can only buy 10-15% from every market supermarket because the rest is all modified, so to say,
Yep.
with bullshit.
Yep. Here
Yeah,
comes one of my little mate. He's a destroyer. He gets up on my table here. When he gets hungry, he almost comes up here and bites me. Like,
yeah,
give me food. I want food.
yeah,
But anyway, yeah, no, it's the same here. Again, I went and bought a packet of smokes today. It's only 25-gram packet of cigarettes of tobacco, and it's about $36 here in Australia for 25 grams,
yeah,
and it's indexed to go up by 10% every 6 months.
yeah,
They're in this stage at the moment with everyone, where they're attacking the household's ability of any spare cash that the household may have, they want. They're trying to create stress and stop people from thinking.
yeah, yeah. I'm on it. And for real, I spoke to. I am going. I did go from 100 gram a week to 60, and I tried to lower it to 30, and then to try to stop. And then I
Yep,
did stop it everything. I'm not an alcohol man or that kind of things,
yep,
but this
yep.
is it's not so easy because if I am a lot home because of my skin problem, so I am
Hmm.
behind the computer in my home and that kind of thing. But when you go around, after the computer, so sit behind the computer, the screen, then you
Yep,
have nothing to do, and then yeah, you go smoke. So
yep.
if you are working, it will be less because you have no time,
Yes,
of course, you know.
yes, 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 yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Righto, mate. Next one, bud.
Okay, there we go, boss. Okay.
You're the boss.
No,
All
we are
right.
both the boss, and we are not bosses. We are equal in life. I say always.
Yes, I agree.
Nita, do I need to read it?
No, I can explain this one, mate.
Okay.
Much
Okay.
simpler for people. They can read it, but I can explain it.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, guys, girls, and in betweens. This again is another meme for right now here in the South, that AE Circle proprietors, pushers, they want to tell you that there's a 24-hour sun in the north running around in this pretty little circle, which is impossible. And they'll want to tell you that there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica too. Well, that is impossible, because Tasmania gets, I think, about 8 hours pitch black. Look behind me. It's black. Black as black. And, you know, we're only talking 3,000, probably 2.5. It'd be 2,500 kilometres south of me now. They want to tell you that it's 24 hours sun. Bullocks. So from Tasmania, they still get about 7 hours darkness at solstice, summer solstice. And then you can go to South America, they get it 7 hours dark. You go to Africa, the Cape Horn, they get about 8 hours pitch black at the summer solstice south. That is impossible for a south 24-hour sun. It's impossible. So if you can't have, and it's not there, not if, there's no 24-hour sun south. So there is no 24-hour sun north. It is, you can't have one without the other. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Without one, you've lost the other. So again, you've got your 18 hours extended light, twilight, but not sun in the north. So this again is a complete and utter debunk of the ball, gone. And it's a complete and utter debunk of any circle, AE, or any of these other magical friggin' silly looking things they keep coming up with to confuse everybody. You know, all this extra land, and then they've got these different ones with two suns running around in circles, and oh my God, you know, some serious people on drugs out there trying to invent these things. But this just makes them, it just debunks them all. It can only happen on a square Earth, and that's it.
Yeah, okay, but the Antarctic sun 24 hours will be only on the ball, of course, not on the EA map. And on the EA map, only around the North Pole, so to say. That is
Yeah,
what
but
that
mate,
is what.
they still want to use the same film footage. The AE want to use this 24-hour sun
Yeah,
around
but
the edge.
the 24 hours on in the EA map is only for the North Pole. That is so they say the right thing. Because it goes around the Tropic of Cancer, of course. Am I right?
But
No, the
hang
Capricorn.
on.
Yeah.
They're using the footage that the scientists and NASA, they're using the same footage as what NASA and the control of this lie are using for the North 24-hour sun.
Yeah. But for the
Right? They're
EA.
using the EAE are using their footage.
Yeah, but not
So,
for the
but then
Antarctic sun.
no, but
That
you're not hearing me.
yeah.
You're not hearing me.
Okay.
They're using the liars' footage for the North, but then telling you that, oh, no, they're lying down at the South, though.
Yeah.
But they're not lying in the North. But I'm saying is you
Both.
can't have them both.
No.
So AE is using the liars' footage for the North, but no, they're lying down at the South, though.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I
And
understand.
that's just insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Let me
Next one.
see. Next one.
Oh.
Flat flag, straight sun above the track fact. Gate 6, North Summer. Gate 1, South Summer. En geloof
Mhm.
ik azimuthal Earth flat freak.
Well, again, this is where, the azimuthal equidistant flat circle of Earth, where it is pathetic. And I picked this particular meme up on one of the groups where you've got paid ball shills debunking the circle in a flash, just like that. Because when you look on the left-hand side and you see that south high arc for the north high arc for the south, summer suns, that's how it is. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put it on the ball. They had to have it there. Well, that's how it is, but it's on a square flat Earth. That the circle, the Vedic, that was debunked in 240 BC. Aristotle took it over, and he knew that how weak it was, and they had to take it to the ball. So often you hear them saying how this lie is 500 years old. No, it's not. It's bloody 5,500 years old. And this is just a really good example of, again, two star spins on the globe, because there is two star spins. Well, the south star spin on that flat circle is impossible. You can't have a flats. I can't think of the name, ASCAMs, or they're calling it now, where every south continent has its own star spin now. Shit.
If you look at basketball and a tennis ball, they have the same.
Exactly.
They already put it in your face.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what the soccer ball is?
No.
The hexagons?
Oh, the hexagon. Yeah, they have different shapes sometimes, because to make it.
That's your crystalline structure of the sky.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they put it just in your face with games and that kind of things. Machines like pinball, what I said, and maybe billiard has something to do with it. Yes, I don't know how you call it in English, with the balls on the field.
Billiards.
Billiard.
Yeah.
We don't know.
No, it's amazing stuff.
You have your billiard. You have 6 gates.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
There you go. For the theory. Yeah.
And the black ball is an 8. Yeah. So it's the king Dick. It's the king honcho. It's the big bud. It's the last ball to go down. It's the infinity.
Yeah. Yeah. If you go look at it, you will come up to more, I think. Okay.
Then you can go to like a game that we play here in England. It's cricket. Yeah. And on the cricket ball, it's got what we call a 6-stitcher. It's got 6 lines of stitches around the centre.
Okay. I never did really look at that. No.
Yeah, 6-stitcher.
Okay. Enoch 1. Enoch, Joshua, Tesla were all Pac-Man they knew. Then they elevated me to a babbling stream and to the fire into the west, which received all the setting of the sun. I came to the river of fire, which flowed like water and emptied itself into the great sea westward, Hawaii, and then the firewall and diminution.
All right. Well, as I was saying to Mono before we went on air, before we started recording, when you're on your computer, what do you have to protect your computer from viruses? You have a firewall, and your firewall is there to keep your computer isolated from all outside influences, all viruses. And it's no coincidence that they named it a firewall. In Enoch, as it says there, and that Mono just read out, Hawaii. What's the only place on Earth where they love showing you film footage of lava flowing into the oceans all the time? Hawaii. It's out on the western equatorial edge. It's probably the closest landmass to the western edge. And It's forever flowing lava, because as the sun descends, because it's resonance energy, and the volcanoes are all caused from them lowering the magnetics in here. The lights have been lowered, but the sun, when it ascends Asia, it's causing volcanoes to go off here. When it descends west over Hawaii, it's causing volcanoes to go off there. This is your climate change, people. And it's very simple stuff, really it is. It's just changing even by what, maybe even 500 feet or 1,000 foot is all they've got to change it. And it'll make huge differences to the earth. And so the sun is created in the east every pass, and it ascends to where the wind blows at 38,000 feet, 12 kilometres. It goes across the earth, and then it descends to where it is chambered, out to the western edge. It's chambered. And again, I think I've already said about the green flash and how glass, even a pane of glass, can be a mirror. At the right angle, when that sun goes down and it's taken down past the edge, you get that of the green flash. Well, green is a lower intensity energy. This is when it's been demunitioned. This is when it's been put out. It's been chambered like a candle. It's been chambered. So that's happening out to the west. We live in a Pac-Man. There's no doubt about it. Look at Pac-Man on the screen there, on the map. It fits like hand in glove. And I was saying to Mono at the start, it fits like a hand in glove. No doubt about it, you know. And I even was a little bit surprised. If you look down in the bottom left-hand corner, how many players are there? There's 2 suns there, down in the bottom left-hand corner. 1, 2. Because we have 2 suns on the deck for about 5 or 6 hours every 48 hour, as they've given us, 48-hour pass or cycle. So, you know, there it is there. I was saying to Mono at the start, look at the eyes of Pac-Man. The eyes of that Pac-Man are the moons, either side of equity. Where the man is standing is equity. Either side of equity, that's what the moons do. You know, at the 2 tropic lines, the moons are facing the opposite direction for north and south. And they put it there right in the middle of Pac-Man. Yeah. I think they've probably, to some extent, I think they've got overconfident, to be honest with you. I think their ego has got the better of them. And because I don't know, for me, I see so much now of real truth. And I personally think all we've got to do is get people to start sharing this. We need to share this stuff. Don't be shy. It doesn't matter. You know, we went to Flat Earth Circle in the beginning, and you know, people wanted to chew on our bum. Well, bugger them. You know, we've got something now that we can show people, and let them Pac-Man this, Pac-Man that. Let them. Great. They put the work into giving all the propaganda. Well, we can actually use that. We can use that for our benefit, because the flat square Earth is a Pac-Man system. And Enoch shows us that. He tells us that in many, 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 many ways. So, you know, it's a powerful little meme, that, as it really is.
Yeah. And the spookies are inside. Behind
Spooks.
the door. Yeah, the spooks are behind the door. And the door opens at a certain moment.
Well, that's the disembodied spirits of the giants, I would say.
Yeah.
Spooks.
For real.
The Nephilim's children.
Yeah. Okay, you can take a horse to water, but you cannot make it think. Look, electricity everywhere. Yeah, and that's true. They cannot even save it, so to say. They collect it. So much energy it is.
Oh, it is. When I first seen that picture, I can remember. I just sat and looked at it for a little while, because just look at the energy there. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is serious, man. And we're a part of that. Yeah. You know, that energy is flowing through our blood. We breathe it into our mouth, the ether. We breathe it in, and our heart pumps that electricity all through us. This is why we need that rock salt in us to conduct that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just that is a lot of power. I love that. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It looks a little like the veins in your body.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, it does.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's the synchronicity, like we've seen with our whole nervous system, from the top of our head to the tip of our toes, and you can put the two up beside a tree, a plant, and the similarities are just mad. How similar we are.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
like you just said, with bolts of lightning like that. I mean, I know. I mean, you can look at your own vein
Yeah.
system,
Yeah.
put it, and you go, there's not a lot of difference.
No. Yeah. Yeah. It's all like nature. Yeah. Yeah,
It is.
and
It
it is
is.
very. You can see that it reached the earth or water or what you want. But what we do, of course, when we wear shoes, and shoes have a rubber sole, so that we not connect and not ground to the earth, and that is also
Yes.
an important. Okay, you look
Oh yeah.
or you walk on slippers, or how you call that. You walk around on your feet maybe, and in
Mm.
Africa they do too, but we don't. We have all rubber soles, and they take away our way to earth to the ground. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, and we have all Nike with rubber soles, Adidas
Yeah.
rubber soles. They have all rubber soles, so to say.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah,
Flip flops.
yeah, yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, yeah, you need to
It's.
earth because that's the most important thing too. Because otherwise,
It is.
yeah, that is one of the most important things. Because otherwise the energy will not flow to through you. It's like this, you know.
It
The
is.
energy come from the sky through you, and it need to go down. And that's maybe this my speculation. Maybe that's why people get stressed and that kind of things, because the energy do not flow through them. It stays in them, so to say. It have no
Hmm.
outflow. Let us say it that way. Yeah.
Hmm. And especially if they've got negative energy going on, like a depression or an anxiety
Yeah.
or a fear-based sort of thought or emotional patterns,
Yeah.
then if they're not earthing out and allowing the flow, then that energy gets trapped inside them.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like a battery. Charge a battery. You need the plus and the minus, because if you have
Yeah,
not have the minus, it will not flow. You know,
yeah,
so your feet are the
that's right.
minus, and your body is the plus, or the head. I just say, but if it doesn't flow through the ground, yeah,
Yep,
your battery will not be loaded. And I did see some
exactly.
video about we have 6 batteries, and if the battery not be charged, we will be sick, so to say. It have also to do with the
Did
teeth.
did you say we have sex batteries?
6 batteries, yeah,
Oh, six,
yeah.
six or sex?
No, 6.
Six. All
Yeah,
right, number six.
we have a sex battery
Yeah,
too.
shit.
Yeah, we have
We
a sex
do.
battery too. Yeah, we have two. We have two.
Yeah,
Of
you got to
course.
keep that battery down, mate. You got to keep that
Yeah,
battery down. Keep it
yeah,
down.
yeah,
that,
yeah,
that battery that mucks with the head.
yeah. Yeah, I think that can be true because monks, of course, they are stay out of the sex part.
So they say.
Yeah, so they say, yeah, yeah, that is with the church too, and
Yeah,
they molested
they, yeah,
children, you know. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, let's
yeah,
not go there too
yeah.
much, eh?
No,
That's a
let's.
that's a horrible story.
No,
That bugger.
yeah, yeah. The boss say we go to the next picture.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, this is a good one.
Yeah.
This is a good one. You can read it, mate, if you want
Okay.
to. Go for it.
The cosmic clock should be perfect. Eclipses are all over the place. Simply common sense debunks the globe. Chaos, not natural, man-made, and it is about eclipses, of course, that you talked about already.
Yeah. Well, just enlarge that bottom section where I put the tracks of the eclipses. Just enlarge that for people, will you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Look at that. Look at that mess. What a bloody mess. Like, as soon as I looked at it, I just thought, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
There, that's like a mad dog's breakfast. Like, if you're living in this perfect heliocentric fantasy and I will say also, if you're living on even a flat square Earth, or you want to live in the circle fantasy, everything has got to be perfect. The Most High Creator of this thing, they didn't muck around with half-assed chances. Everything was done smick, was done beautiful until this mob took over. Well, look at that picture, people. There is no rhyme or reason there. There is no synchronicity. If you had an eclipse today, then that eclipse should happen to the minute, 10 years' time, for the rest of time. That's what should happen. And it doesn't matter which way you want to look at it. And it shows us most definitely eclipses are man-made. And they're using a glorified laser. Really, that's all it is. You've got a laser which, they use everywhere now with these fires and so forth that are going on in America at the moment again. I mean, crike, it's bloody obvious.
Yeah.
Because I seen one little thing come past me today that there's this big bridge, bloody steel girders, like huge steel girders, melting, bending, and bitumen melting. From what, a bushfire? Get off the grass. I used to, I was a cattle farmer, horse breeder out here in the hills, in the mountains, and every year, right now, actually, well, just before now, August, we would always burn. Because it was the only way we could get rid of weeds. And man, bushfires don't do that stuff. So they've got technology there, and all they're doing with the eclipses is projecting an electromagnetic force, like a magnet, up, and it's adjusting. They're retarding the speeds of the luminaries, and that's what eclipses are. The ancients knew they were evil, and they bloody are evil, because they're muck-assing around with our cosmic clock. And this is Ezekiel's wheel, and this is another big truth about Enoch 1. No other model. Not model. It's the real flat Earth. It's not a bloody model, and it's not a theory, because we base everything on what we can observe, repeat, and measure. So, that meme is very blunt. It's to the point. Solar, lumen. See, even, Rahu and Ketu. When I was going through the process of all of my research, and I was digging around in Vedic, and we were playing around with eclipses with Don Nordorf and that, and we were doing good work. And, we were only looking then at 2 EM fields passing each other, and it's done. We've done it. That's eclipses. But we were looking at Rahu and Ketu from the Vedic cosmology, which is your circle. But now I realized that the Vedic was only the prototype for the ball that was coming out of Babylon. It was coming out of after the last destruction, that the Pythagoreans and the Erasnathenes, and then you come on into late Greece, that meanwhile in India, the Veda, they were developing this circle, because they had the plan right along to get us off the square flat Earth and letting us know what our power is in here. See, that this is the whole purpose. They don't want us to know what we can do in here. We need to know this, and this is part of Enoch 1. Enoch 1 reveals the true power of man, and we need to get there. As many people as possible, I'm sure. I know I'm doing the best I can. But look, just looking at that, there is no if, buts, or maybes that solar and lunar eclipses are man-made, and they are an electromagnetic weapon that they're using against our luminaries, where they land on the level in here, only 38,000 feet. That's 12 kilometres. That's not that high. So they're able to punch. And this is the symbology of the arrow. like in Hunger Games, and you'll see it everywhere. It's no different than the wings. It's symbology everywhere. It's the arrow, and that is your laser. It's the attack on the tower. The sun's beam in here, Isis, Ishtar, Israel. And that is the symbology of it. So guys and girls, and in-betweens, solar and lunar eclipses, there you go. It's proof there. There's no if, buts or maybes. Are man-made.
There is no in-betweens between the boys and the girls.
I was waiting for you to say that, buddy.
Yeah, no, but that is also for me, and I don't want to hurt people, but that is ridiculous. You can be in a man body and feel a woman. I can understand that, but now it is ridiculous.
Oh,
Where
but sweetheart.
it goes ridiculous. You look, I am grow up with a woman. I have a sister, a sister above me, a sister under me, and my mom and my brother. So I have a woman. Things to me too, so I am careful, blah 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 blah. Say it, but that will not
So
make.
you're well trained.
I'm well trained, but yeah, no, but it is not that I will clothe myself as a woman or something, you know. That are just properties to my character, so to say, yeah, and not more. Yeah, I will not think, yeah, now I am this or that,
So
and all.
you're not in cross dressing.
No, and it is this. They have atrazine. I don't know if I.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
yes,
that is to make. They did make
atrazine.
frogs gay and that kind of things. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think also that part, because they say us, yes, in the past, and animals are also gay. No, they are not. If you ask me, I
No.
think all is perfect. A man is a man, a woman is a
Yeah,
woman, and all
yeah.
in between is not godly made. Let I say it that way, yeah.
Well,
Not
I know from
by the
this part of
grave.
the world. I know from this part of the world that I look at the what can you say, the penned up, the restricted populations of Hong Kong, Taiwan. There's a lot going on in other Asian countries where I believe they were the first lab rats. They were the lab rat populations where they put that atrazine in the water
Yeah,
and to see how well it worked. Because I can tell you now, there's a shitload of Asians that don't really know what sex they are.
yeah,
Um, I'm not judging anyone. This is just an observation, and I have a lot of Asians come past me, and a lot don't. The boys don't know what it's like to be a male, and a lot of girls are not interested in boys.
yeah,
And it's not, and I mean some of them, some of the lesbians, to look at them, they got no breasts, no breasts. They're flat as me, flatter than me, and they look like boys.
yeah,
Now that is not that's not like you're not born genetically like that. That is a drug-induced change
yeah,
in that body.
yeah. I think too. I think too. Yeah,
And then of course it worked there, so I think they've employed it in a lot of Western countries too now. Don't worry.
yeah, yeah. It is ridiculous. I think, and most that kind of people do not even know about. We have a little spirit to think for ourselves in a way. We don't. We fight for ourselves, but they don't. They are just. Yeah,
They're
like
victims.
yeah, they are victims, but they act like cattle, just like sheep.
Yep.
Or I don't know how to explain it, but I think that is sadly for that people because they are of course, yeah, already the human inside is already taken down. So let us not the
Basically.
human, the mankind in it.
Yeah, it's basically because it takes so long to come back from something like that,
Yeah, yeah,
because it really can only be a full-blown diet of raw food, and then you're also going to have to go with only distilled water,
yeah,
that because that's the only pure water. It's either rainwater or distilled water.
yeah,
So raw food, distilled water, and probably urine therapy
Yeah.
is the only way that, and it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take, that sort of thing is going to take months,
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
1 to 2, 3 months
For,
before you will see a recognizable difference.
yeah, maybe longer. But with the urine
Possible.
therapy, I will not start with that. You do smoke. But if you smoke, you get all metals inside. So if you do urine therapy, the body have finally taken out all metals, and you take in the metals
Are you
also.
sure about that?
I think that it is. But
You
listen,
sure about
I
it? You
I'm not.
sure about that?
I think that
How
it
does
is that way.
the distillery work?
No,
I
listen.
just I
If
just
it is,
mentioned to
yeah.
you about what did I just say about the water? Um,
Yeah, I understand.
ah,
I understand where you go to, but you need to understand.
Distilled.
What I want to say is this: if it doesn't, put your take
Don't
your.
talk. Don't talk down about urine therapy because I'm
No,
telling you now,
no. But
it's an
listen,
ass kicker.
then all metals will be inside. Then your body do not throw them out, or they
Yes, it does.
throw them out when you shit. That can be true, of course. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but but so a distillery works in such a way that the fluid that comes out is basically separated from the original source. It's a pure fluid. That's how a distillery works. That's how alcohol is produced. It's no different than
Yeah,
our
I know.
urine.
I understand. Yes, of course.
So the heavy metals are not going to come out with it.
No, they need to go out when you shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
probably,
yeah,
mate.
yeah,
Probably.
yeah,
I don't know, but I know the healing force is there, and that's all that worries me.
yeah,
The smoking. This I don't drink. I don't. I'm good in every other way, but the cigarettes. Man, I'm taking on some pretty big fish here with this research, and at times, whether people like it or not,
yeah.
I'm not one of these paid people that get flown all over the world and given a condo here and stay there and this hotel for this and no. This is real truth. So you're not very well liked, and I don't know. Sometimes I wonder whether you hear about Dover. What was his name? That hung himself or something in Hong Kong for tackling pretty serious issues to do with flat Earth.
Aaron
So
Dover.
at times, yeah, Aaron, yeah.
Aaron, yeah.
Uh, at times I do. I sit here and I don't. I mean, I'm tackling stuff that is very serious. It's very serious truth. This isn't for kicks. This isn't
Yeah,
for
yeah,
kicks.
yeah.
This is serious truth. Now, we can sit here and have a good interview and a good yarn like you and me do, but afterwards I still go to work and talk to people here, but in the back of my mind I know what I'm doing is not. It's not the smartest move that somebody would do if they don't want to get hurt.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah.
So that's why I smoke a little bit. That's my excuse.
No, yeah. Everybody need to do what they wanna do, and that's off for everybody for themselves. That is no
Yeah.
judging. But I didn't look into it for myself. But I know that some people. Aleti Dave, he is also a very front man of the urine therapy, so to
Mhm.
say. And there are more.
Oh.
And I didn't look into it because I ask myself one thing, because if you go to the toilet the first time when you wake up, it's very
Yep.
yellow. Yeah, and
Yep.
if I drink the 2.5 of liters water, it become wider and
That's why you.
transparent.
That's why the urine in the morning is the best one to drink
Okay.
because it's the most powerful. It's the one that overnight your body has been programming it, and it has the most stem cells in it.
Yeah. Okay.
And as I said before, you'll go and pay tens of thousands of dollars to put stem cells in your skull to grow
Yeah.
hair,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yet you piss them down the toilet every morning.
Yeah. yeah.
And it's only
Yeah,
common
yeah, I
sense.
will look into it. I will look into it because not that I am not really a guy that want to
Might
do that
even
kind
help
of,
you.
you know.
Might even help you with your eczema,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
telling you
yeah,
now.
yeah.
I'm not
Can be.
kidding.
Yeah, I will look into it, how it works,
Because
and what they say about it.
what you can do is you can age it as well. You can put it in glass jars and put it in a dark cupboard and let it sit for month, 2 months. And on the bottom of the fluid, you'll get stalactites, like in a cave. You'll get stalactites growing from the bottom. Well, those stalactites that grow from the bottom are stem cells,
Okay.
growing stem cells, and you can rub them into your skin. And you know that amount of stem cells, man. You're talking tens of thousands of dollars worth,
Yeah.
tens of thousands.
I think I go sell my pee.
This is real. It's true.
Yeah,
This is real.
yeah,
It's real. As
yeah,
you and me sitting here,
yeah,
and I live the truth. You know, if
yeah,
I research something and I get to the end of it and I look at it and go, wow, I've got nowhere else to look. Okay. Well, that's it. That's what it has to be.
yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you need to try it yourself too, and you cannot try everything, but you need to be your own lab rat, so as you say last time. So that's how it
Yep.
works.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh shit! You've already moved on. You've
yeah,
already moved on.
yeah, yeah.
So, perfect. Um, I can remember reading that text of Job's with who was it that devised the overflowing channel for the waters, and it was puzzling the crap out of me because you've got the Rob Skeebers of the world and all of these guys, and none of them want to touch that text. None of them want to touch that with a 40-foot pole. Why? Because the Earth has edges. You know, why? What is it with all this propaganda of boats going over the edge? Well, the bloody did. That's why. Truth in your face again. But anyway, I was here one morning and I went to the toilet, and sorry to any ladies that may listen to this, but I'm standing up there having a piddle and looked down and seen the water level at the bottom of the toilet, and I kind of, wow, look at that. That water's level, and yet there's a tank of water above it. How's that possible, huh? And I kind of leant my head around the corner and I looked at the S bend. I went, oh, mamma mia, that's a channel. Who was it that devised the channel for the overflowing of the waters? Voila. There you go.
Yeah.
And I think it's beautiful. It's such, and that would be how the Most High would do it. It'd be something so logical and simple that it is in your face.
Yes,
And
yeah,
it's
everything. Yeah,
a self leveling water system.
yeah,
Now, even with all of this climate change stuff, they keep yapping about, oh no, the ice caps are melting, and the land is rising, the water is rising. No, it's not. There's nowhere on Earth where the water has risen. It can't rise. That's why, because of the channel for the
yeah,
overflowing waters.
yeah. And also ice. If you make it water, if you make it ice, it will be less, more volume. So if it going to water again, it will be less water, so to say. And it is already in the water for most parts, as I know. And that make also push on the water, so it make the level higher. So if it will melt the ice, it will not make the water level higher.
You
Because
can't
it
because
it, it become less in
it
volume.
doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter what you do. You can't, because I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't matter if what happens. You cannot increase the water. It's like the swimming pool the splash tray on a swimming pool, or the filter on a swimming pool. You can't increase the water level because it just overflows.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
It
Okay.
has to stay the same.
Yeah. Okay, and
All right.
here is who has devised a channel for the overflowing water to back it up. From the book
Yep.
of Enoch, I think this, or not.
No,
Is
no,
it from the
Job.
Bible? Oh,
It's
yeah.
from Job.
Yeah,
Yeah, from Bible, Job.
yeah, yeah.
Now, how long have we been going, mate?
Let me see. We are going 3-4 pictures now left, or 4, and we are 1 hour 52 minutes.
I thought so.
Yeah,
I thought so.
yeah,
We'll call it quits.
yeah.
We'll call it quits, mate. Call it
Okay,
quits.
okay,
We'll get to that. That'll be next.
okay, okay. Then I want to thank you again, Sam, for your time
Ah,
and
look,
for being here.
it's been a
And
it's been a bloody pleasure.
yeah, and all people also thank you for watching already. And we hope you see you back in part 8. This was part 7 of the Enoch Squared Earth. And I say to all, peace in the world.
Peace. Yeah. Thank you, Mono. Thank
Bye
you, man.
bye.
Bye bye, everybody.